The whole squad on the mission, you got to listen. We PoPolitickin, it's so dope when it kick in. You can get in where you fit in. We straight PoPolitickin. The whole squad on the mission, you got to listen. You know what this is when we PoPolitickin. My money long like division, I proposition to put a fist in. We straight PoPolitickin. Hey yo, I rise like the sun in the east, running the streets. Same people that was coming in peace, some in the beast on the microphone. It's never a long and hard task. For God, I'm gon' smash they blog and podcast. Introduction to journalism 101 with Pharaoh PoPolitickin about where I'm from and what I do. What's up? It gotta be good. Interviewing everybody, you know they probably could. Take all the blood, sweat, and tears, working all them years. Putting in 10,000 hours, it empowers careers. From the baby and Megan Thee Stallion to Yo Gotti. High as a kite, jet life, currency in the party. With MC Light, J Prince said I rap a lot. Super Saiyan Black Kakarot with a Macintosh laptop in my Apple Watch. Smoking Fraggle Rocks, 4 eyes, got more lines and hooks than a tackle box. What? The whole squad on the mission, you got to listen. We PoPolitickin, it's so dope when it kick in. You can get in where you fit in. We straight PoPolitickin. The whole squad on the mission, you got to listen. You know what this is when we PoPolitickin. My money long like division, I proposition to put a fist in. We straight PoPolitickin.
Welcome back to PoPolitickin.com, your home for self-help meets hip-hop. Right now we're live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Check me out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. 1212 on Place to Be with Taye. I'll let you say it. I don't mess it up, Kari.
Right. Taye Uhuru.
See, I'm still about to say the wrong thing. How you doing today, my brother?
All is well, King. How you feeling?
I'm fantastic, man. So I see you got a lot of things going on. I see a historian, genealogist. What else you do? Hip hop artist. What else you got going on?
Yeah, definitely, man. World traveler. I've been in 45 states, 60, 70 countries.
So how did you get into that?
What you talking about, the traveling?
Yeah.
I had started kind of young. My mom, she used to drive the Greyhound, so she took us to different cities, you know what I'm saying? Me and my brothers and sisters, she'd take us to Chicago and Detroit and Cincinnati and New York, you know what I'm saying? Like places within driving distance. We'll ride with her on the bus.
And what about the different countries?
I got my passport in like 2010. That's when I started traveling outside of the United States because I had seen most of the states, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been to like 45 states, so I wanted to see more, you know what I'm saying? See what the world had to offer.
So what did you learn about going to these different countries in different states?
You said, what did I learn?
Yeah.
I mean, just experiencing new cultures, new languages, music, food, people, you know what I'm saying? Getting a better experience because a lot of times when you watch TV or the movies or the news, they often show different countries in a negative light, especially African countries. You know what I'm saying?
So what's your favorite countries, your top 3 countries you went to?
They would definitely be in Africa. I mean, I like South Africa, Cape Verde, Ethiopia, Ghana, Madagascar. There's so many to name, man. Africa got so much to offer. It's almost 60 countries in that one continent.
What you like about those countries?
Man, just the beauty, the beauty of the people, the hospitality, the weather, definitely the landscapes, the beaches, the animals, the wildlife, the food, the music, everything.
And I guess that's the thing too. I guess how they try to, they always try to show Africa in a bad light on TV. So you saying it looks good out there? I think I was watching like Real Housewives of Atlanta one time, and they were saying like how they show it on TV. So they went out there and they kind of look like Manhattan out there, like beach and everything.
Yeah, definitely. They got people with Benzes and BMWs, and you see all type of cars, Bentleys. They got brand new malls and shopping centers, and they got technology, iPhones, and depending on the city and the country, they watch BET and MTV and VH1 and stuff in certain places. You know what I'm saying? So they have modern there.
Do you say it's safe for us to travel over there?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, statistically, it is. You got dozens of African countries that's far safer than the United States, safer than places like New York or New Orleans or St. Louis or Detroit or Cleveland or Chicago. Lower gun violence, less mass shootings, less violent crime. You know what I'm saying?
Is it is you a guide too? I thought I read that you a guide.
I'll do tours. I take groups to different countries in Africa. We got tours to Ghana, Egypt, Senegal, Cape Verde, South Africa, Tanzania, Kenya.
Yeah, I gotta link up with you on that one. That sounds cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, anytime. We go any time of the year. You could do a payment plan. You could plan for next year. It's very flexible.
Then what about have you ever been to Papua New Guinea?
No, that's in the South Pacific. I've been to Guinea-Bissau.
Yeah, my homie. Actually, I was talking to him today, man. He's like 92 years old, but he's a counsel with them. Yeah, he's saying go over there, man. He said there's a lot of black people over there.
Oh
I got.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. Millions. I mean, there's black people all over the world for sure. But
Uh,
no.
so what do you want? What do you want people to know about you? You got froze. You heard me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it might have disconnected or something. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I was just saying, what do you want the people to know about you?
Oh man. Like you said, I'm an author. I just released my first book. It's called The Afro Set. You know what I'm saying? If anybody that's interested in learning more about their history, learning about black people in America that act economically.
Somebody in the comments.
Hear me? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, you going out a little bit.
Right. Is it my internet or is it your internet?
Oh, nah, it's you.
Oh, yeah, I don't know because my signal usually be pretty tight. I mean, I could use my data. One
They
second.
watching. Yeah, they watching. You on your phone though?
Yeah,
Yeah, it don't really work right on your phone.
because I got a laptop. Every time I use my laptop, it don't work on there. So I
Yeah.
be usually go pretty. All right, hold on. It's straight data now. You can edit it up, or is it, you want me to continue from where I left off, or start over?
Oh no, we live.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, like I was saying, if you
Yeah.
interested in a group of people that actually fought back, you know what I'm saying? We so complacent, you know what I'm saying? So, this organization was at the forefront of reintroducing African Americans to African history. You know what I'm saying? African music, African culture, African language, African fashion. They taught Swahili. They had classes on economics, politics. They had classes on self-defense. They would go to the farms. They would do target practice, military drills. They would, use the machetes, use the sticks, a lot of things like that. They had social programs, free breakfast, free lunch. You know what I'm saying? They would give away bikes. They built a theater.
Who you talking
They
about?
would. I'm talking about the book.
Oh, okay. The Afro set.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So I'm just saying they did a lot of things in the community, a lot of community policing. They would, when people came into the community selling drugs or pimping women or prostituting or after hour spots, different things like that, purse snatchers, they would confront them. You know what I'm saying? Even the police when they were brutalizing people. So it's a very exciting book. It's a lot of uprisings and rebellions and shootouts and different things that took place in the city of Cleveland that a lot of people never learned about.
Mm. And what's the meaning behind your name?
Taye, that's a word that they use in that's a word that's used really all across Africa, but I got it from Ethiopia, and it means kind of different things. But in Ethiopia specifically, they have a language called Amharic. So if somebody says Taye, It means to see something, to have a vision. So that's what Taye means in the Amharic language. That's like one of the oldest languages in the world. You know, Ethiopia, that's where some people believe, you know, civilization started. So Uhuru, that's a word that they use in the Swahili language, and it means freedom. So in places like Kenya and Tanzania, you know, Swahili is one of the most widely spoken African languages. So it means freedom. So my name means he who has seen freedom.
Mm. Have you seen freedom?
Oh yeah, definitely. By, you know, living in Africa and visiting and going to different countries and experiencing, you know, a better quality of life, not being confined by my race.
You got it, man. You be stopping. I be thinking you about to keep spitting, man. You be leaving me
All
hanging.
right, no, you know, I don't be want to talk too much, so we, you know, make it more like a conversation, you know, because I'm
Yeah.
learning from you.
And then what? So how did you get involved with hip hop?
Oh man, I've been in the hip hop all my life. You know, I was fortunate enough when I grew up. I had older brothers that lived with me, cousins that lived with me. You know, my father, he was in there in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? So they had a lot of house parties, they would play records and stuff like that. So I was able to tap into it, you know, from the beginning. You know, a lot of my friends, they wasn't allowed to listen to hip hop as a kid, you know what I'm saying? So I got to listen to BDP, Boogie Down Productions, KRS-One, Rakim, Slick Rick, Ice Cube, the Ghetto Boys, you know, X Clan, different groups like that. You know, they had a great influence on me and motivated me, you know, to want to make music myself.
Mm. Then how were you when you started making music for yourself?
I started kind of writing when I was like in elementary school, maybe like fifth grade, but I didn't really get a chance to start recording until like high school. That's when we started making tapes and, you know, by the time I became an adult, when I graduated, you know, the computers was out and we could record and burn CDs and stuff like that. So
And then it said genealogist. So what do you do?
genealogists, I basically help people retrace their family's history. You know, more so Black Americans in particular, because you know other results of slavery and racism. A lot of us, we don't know who our family is. You know, we don't know who our great grandmother is, or where we got our last name from, and different things like that. So I do a lot of research. I dig through a lot of archives. I find things like birth certificates, death certificates, slave schedules, military cards, archive pictures, old news articles, you know, different little pieces of information to help people reconnect with their roots.
What's the slave schedule?
Okay, so basically, like, you know how they do a census every 10 years, and they say John Smith lives in this house with Dolores Smith, and they have these kids. The slaves, they was like property. They was more like animals. So if you had to write you had 10 cows, you write you had 10 slaves. So sometimes, more times than not, it just would say 10 slaves. So that's where you would get your last name from. So the slave schedule might be for Greenwood. You feel what I'm saying? That could be your last name, and then it'll be passed on from generation to generation to generation. So that help people kind of reconnect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I did the 23andMe. I did 23andMe probably like 3 years ago.
Okay.
Then I did the Ancestry one about this year. 'Cause I just want to see was it gonna match, and it matched.
Oh, it did. Okay, that's
Yeah, because
good.
people, you know how people, I be hearing a lot of like, especially a lot of black people be like, "Oh man, don't trust that stuff." But that's two different companies, and the data was matching pretty much. So I'm like, well, shit, both of them matching, and it was 3 years later. It wasn't even like I did it at the same time. I did it 3 years ago, and I did this one right. And it's like, I mean, it's probably off by like, it's not off. I'm saying it's off by like 1 to 2%, but mostly it's right. Like I'm saying, it's off by a percent, like 1%. But I was like, damn, that shit matching up. So I was like, okay. But I'm into it too. I think I started working on mine like in 2002 or three. So I've been doing this since 2002 or three. I got all the way to my 31st great grandfather. He's like a baron. That's the farthest I went. But I be doing the Ancestry.com. I be because
Right.
like you were saying, they be showing all that stuff on there. Like you get a
Hmm.
subscription, they show you all the what you were just saying, like the military records, all that stuff. So I like it, but then sometimes I just be like, man, I do it for a little while, then I take a break, then I do it for a little while, take a break. So
Right, right. I know a lot of people they started the journey, but they may have got frustrated. So that's like where I come in at, because it's something that I do. I done help dozens of people, get to the 17, 18, 1900s and stuff. So you got two parents, you got four grandparents, eight great, 16 great great, 32 great great,
yeah,
64 great great
I'm
great,
in the 18
128,
right
so
now.
keep going. So what's that?
I said I'm in the 1800s right now. That's where I'm at.
Okay, okay, yeah. So that's real good, and it's good you took the DNA as well, because a lot of people do. I've heard people say that, but the thing is like this: if you go to court and the lady say this your son, you will use a DNA test. If you feel like it's not yours, and you gonna go with the results, or if it's a crime and somebody lose their life and there's DNA on the weapon or
You know what
on
I'm
their
saying?
body, you know
Like,
what I'm saying?
hey, that's what I'm saying. People be trying to act like they FBI agents. I mean, don't you you go to the barbershop, right? You go to restaurants, right? Well, they already got
Hmm.
your goddamn DNA. Shut up. People be
Oh
trying to act
yeah.
like they agents and shit. Hey, man, they got your damn DNA already.
Right, but some people they don't want to face that reality because sadly, they may feel like, well, my grandmother said that we was this or that. People sometimes have
Oh my god.
stories.
That's why I was teasing my like my wife. She took hers, and I was
Mhm.
teasing her. I said, "You don't want to take because you ain't gonna find out you're not Indian."
Right, right, right.
Everybody, especially we always try to claim Indian and shit. But my boy
Right.
said how much. That's DJ Peer. He said how much it costs to do that. What you was talking
Oh,
about?
for the genealogy research, I just charge
Yeah.
$100.
Oh, okay, that ain't bad. You can be charging more than that.
Right, right. I mean, it's something I love to do, so I'm just trying to help people as well.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Helping people. But I'll be like, I think so. What do you achieve by learning about your history? What's the
About my own
benefits?
personal family history.
Yeah, what's the? I mean, just like say you selling it to somebody. What is it? What's the benefits of learning about your history, your family history, to you?
I mean, for me, it's empowering to know that I got people in my family and know who they are and where they came from. I mean, for me, is necessary for your self esteem and your self confidence. And as humans, we want to find a purpose in this life and in this world. So I think that knowing about your family is the perfect foundation for that. You know what I'm saying? Like life is hard already. So it's like if you don't know where you come from, you don't know nothing about yourself. How do you set the bar? How do you gauge yourself? It's like a GPS. You know where you trying to go, but you got to put where you coming from so you can see it's a roadblock here, the police over here, it's construction over here, speed trap over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, on the 23andMe, when I did that one, like I said, that was a couple of years ago, but it was saying it tells you like your genealogy too. So it was telling me on my mom's side, it was saying I'm related to Nelson Mandela, but on my dad's side, it was saying Pharaoh Ramsey. So man,
Mm,
once I heard that shit, man, I felt like fucking like like Mario when we hit that mushroom, you're like, woo, woo. So I was like, shit. So that's why I said like you just said, like especially when you learn your history and you learn like these people in your history. And then my whole thing is like, especially when I keep going back, I'm like, shit, all these people are part of me. So I'm looking at like, that's like very powerful when you think about it. But that's why I like to learn that stuff, man. Just to know the more, like they say, know thyself. Ain't there like a Bible scripture or something? Know thyself.
mhm.
So I like learning stuff, like just learning about who I am and where I come from.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. Because in school it always start off with slavery. You a slave, so
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say I just want to get past it. Like, yeah, I know slavery, boo, 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 but okay, what about before slavery? Like, I want to keep going back. I don't want to just. They always try to stop us, right? I mean, I guess because like they said, a lot of our history wasn't kept during that time, so maybe that's why we can't keep going back. But I like to go farther than slavery.
oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you can. It's just gonna take work and it take time. That's all. It's not impossible, but you can. You got some people that do reconnect where you could find that exact point where your ancestor came from Africa, came to America. You know, it's documentation out there that exists. You know what I'm saying? It's really like a lifelong journey. It's not something you're gonna accomplish in one sitting or one setting. You might be working on this for years because you're gonna always find more information.
Yeah, my shit came up. It said, let me look it right quick before we talking. Yeah, my shit said, it said, because it showed me my ethnicity, but it said additional communities. It said early Virginia African Americans. And then it was saying it said I might be a part of a free community back then. But it be going back, like it goes back to all that. But it was saying like it was a dwindling free population, but it started in the 1700s. But yeah, it's saying I'm from Virginia African American, early Virginia African Americans. So I got to go back more into that. But yeah,
definitely. You probably still got people down there for sure.
yep. So what else? What else going on, man? What else you want the people to know? Oh, I was gonna say, what about the? Sorry, what about when you said the archivist? What is that? What you do?
I mean, it's all related. You know, I collect a lot of archives, whether it's through genealogy or my research, you know, as far as my book, interviewing people, collecting old photos, old videos, things like that, newspaper articles. Also, you know, just going back and forth to Africa, collecting different things that I may come across, old books, old artwork, or whatever, anything, you know what I'm saying, with a significant history, you know.
But is it a certain way you archive it? Because I actually plan on doing that with what I'm doing, as far as like the interviewing and just hip hop in general. So is there a certain way you archive it, or you just collect it? Like, yeah.
I mean, this just depend on the person. You know, some people could be archivists, but they could be a hoarder. They could have their house all cluttered up with stuff, and you be like, "Where is this document at?" And they know where it's at, but you can't find it. So you know what I'm saying? Then you got other people that got file cabinets. Some people got computers, and you know, it's getting more technological. So a lot of my stuff is on computers, and I put it on a drive, or I have it on a disk or a USB. You know, and then you could label the folders because I work on so many different things. A historian, that's like a broad term. So you could be a historian. It's like a doctor. You could be a foot doctor. You could be a heart doctor. You could be the doctor that work with people when they pregnant. You could be a doctor that fix bones, or you might be
So
working on cancer.
what kind of historian are you then?
I mean, all of those things are different types of historians. Archivists, genealogists, historian.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's just it's a more specific term. You know what I'm saying? You got people just that do different parts of this. Like you got Egyptologists, you got people that only study the history of Egypt, and that could be very broad, you know, because they got so many dynasties and king. That's a 10,000 year period. So you know what I'm saying. You got some people that may focus on one dynasty. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Now, do you study Egyptian history?
yeah. That I study global history. Every time I go to a country, I go to museums, I go to historic sites, you know what I'm saying? So I always tap in. But I'm not as knowledgeable about, like I say, Egyptian history because it's a greater period, you know what I'm saying? So people may spend their whole life studying one pyramid or one temple or one tomb or one pharaoh, you know, because so much was accomplished. You know what I'm saying? So my level of expertise, where I'm most qualified to be a historian, is my book. I wrote a 300-page book. I interviewed over 100 people. I spent 5 years writing the book. I spent 10 years researching the book. So if somebody asked me specifically about the Black Power movement in Cleveland or the Afro set, then that would be my area of expertise. But I know different parts of global history.
Mm. You be like, why the hell are you asking me this? What'd you think about aliens, though?
I mean, I don't even. What is an alien?
I don't know. What you think? Somebody said that. Somebody was like, shit. It was like, he just started naming like different races and said they was aliens. He said, he's like,
Right, that's what I'm saying. So pretty much, it's like because you know you could go underwater and there's animals and wildlife that we ain't even never discovered yet that's here on this earth. So
I say, do you believe in like the cities underwater? How they had cities underwater? You think that's a true thing?
I mean, it seems like it's technologically possible, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think it's like that, where it's just a whole secret world. You know, you might have little conclaves where people, if they have the money, you know, they could afford to live like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think actually I saw the news letter, but I didn't read. The FBI actually released a document talking about all the UFO sightings the military saw. But
Hmm.
it was like it's kind of like in the, you know how they write that thick ass shit. You really gotta sit there and read to see what they saying. But they actually come out with a document. So I don't know. It's like they're it's like more and more reporters of UFOs now. I noticed. So something going on.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, if you just look up in the sky at night, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, obviously that is infinite what could be out there.
Hmm. What's up? So what are some of your other interests?
I'm a musician. You know what I'm saying? I got music on YouTube. I got my music videos on there. My last video I recorded last year during the pandemic. It's called "Do Revolutionaries Go to Heaven?" I was living in Africa at the time. I was staying in Johannesburg in a neighborhood called Mabo Name, and it's like an art district near downtown. So it's a real creative, artsy spot. A lot of rappers, singers, dancers, photographers, drummers, poets, fashion designers, you know, they come to this area and showcase their talents. And it's, you know, a very beautiful place. A lot of murals of great black people like Nelson Mandela, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks are painted on the wall. So, you know, it was just a place of inspiration, you know, that I just happened to be living in, you know, during the pandemic. So I was influenced and uplifted, and that gave me the creative insight to create the song "Do Revolutionaries Go to Heaven?" And I was fortunate because in my apartment, you know, I had producers and photographers in the studio that I could go to, you know, while everything else was shut down. So I wasn't, you know, hindered from being artistic.
What's up? Do they go to heaven?
Man, I hope so.
Because Tupac was asking do Jesus to go to heaven.
Right, right.
So do they go? I was saying, but what do you like? So what do you think about just as far as what's going on with black people in America right now? As far as the it's still a lot of killings and yeah, what do you think about the killings and protests and all that stuff going on right now? Not the protests as much. Protests was like last summer, but as far as just the killing still and police conflict stuff like that.
Man, it's just a reflection of what we go through in this country. I mean, I don't feel like too much has changed or too much progress has been made. So it's just like a reflection. I feel the same way when I get pulled over by the police that my father felt, or his father, or his grandfather. You know what I'm saying? It's not a significant difference. You know, you have individual black people that are successful, but as an entire group of people, have we made progress? We still at the bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I noticed now. It seemed like because it was like a couple weeks before where the he was like a sergeant in the military. He was just bothering the black dude. Black dude, he was like, "Why you in the neighborhood?" He just kept bothering and pushing on him. And then the next day, they showed like all the black people just showed up right at his house. They did that
Hmm.
again. It was like I don't know if you saw the white dude. He was arguing with this black guy, and he started saying how he clicked up with the cops, and he ain't gonna happen to him. He was like, "Yeah, y'all ain't nothing but some niggas." Even when the other cop came, he was like, "You ain't gonna do shit." He said, "Handle that shit." And then I guess the next day, it's hella black people at the fucking in his fucking house, and they was in there protesting until he got arrested. I was like, that's some new shit. Like they weren't doing that before. I mean, I like it, but I was like, I don't remember us doing that like that before. So I actually like us. It's like we actually taking action now when stuff go down like that.
Yeah, yeah. It seemed like it's a little bit more protesting going on. Probably post Obama. You know what I'm saying? Like during Trump's term, and more so now. And it was just this last year.
So what you think about? You said I saw your face when you said Obama. So what you think about the 8 years with Obama?
I mean, the same for me. You know, I don't feel different. You know, I don't feel significantly safer or less oppressed. You know what I'm saying? That's just my personal experience.
Huh. Yeah. I don't know. I'd be always looking at it like the presidency don't really matter to us anyway. We still got to do our thing.
That's what it's looking like, bro.
Huh. All right, man. This shit. What else? Let me see what else you had going on. You had a lot of stuff going on. Let me look over here. You was in Dominican Republic too.
I studied abroad in the Dominican Republic and Brazil. So I studied abroad twice.
So what do you mean when you study abroad?
I mean, I was actually living out there, going to college out there, taking college classes. So when I was in the DR, that was in 2014. I was studying at Unibe, Universidad Iberoamericana. That's like one of the top schools in the country. You know what I'm saying? It was a great experience. You know, I had classes during the day. I was learning about Latin American culture, Caribbean culture, Dominican history, the Spanish language, Caribbean diseases. You know, we'll go to a hospital laboratory, look at feces. You know, because people have certain diets and they cause certain illnesses. So we was, learning about those types of things. And in the afternoons, or in my days off, I would volunteer at like orphanages and community centers and different things like that. So it was a life changing experience for real. And I was living with a Dominican family, dating a Dominican woman. You know what I'm saying? It was real cool.
How many languages you know?
I know a little Spanish, a little Portuguese, and French. So about three or four.
All right. So what's next for you?
Man, I'm just cruising right now and just not trying to do too much. Just trying to stick to the script. You know, I got some tours coming up. I got a tour to Cape Verde. I got a group in September. I got a tour coming up to Ghana in December. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just focusing on that. I got a couple possible tours, maybe Kenya in October around that time.
So what do you think about people that was like they just been born and raised the same place, they never went nowhere, never traveled?
Man, they missing out. You know what I'm saying? They really just missing out. You got to think global, and whatever it is you do. If it's music, I'm not no platinum artist. I don't have no record deal, but I've recorded songs all over the world. I've been in studios all over the world. I made music with cats in Senegal, Brazil, South Africa, Amsterdam. You know what I'm saying? It's a fulfilling experience. If you like cooking, you haven't tried food from Brazil, you haven't tried food from Ethiopia, you haven't tried real Asian food. We think we eating Chinese food, but that's like fast food. That's like, you know what I'm saying? We ain't even getting the real authentic cooking. You in the sports, you only gotta just strive to go to the NBA. You could play in leagues overseas. You could play ball in Africa somewhere or Asia and make good money and live a good life. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is you into.
Yeah, I always remember when I was like, I remember like Josephine Baker, how she went overseas in her career, and like I think Paul Robeson too. So even like back in the day, like a lot of black talent, they was going overseas. So that's why I kind of like peep a game on that. Even like I remember Tina Turner was overseas.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. A
I
lot of
think
artists in the industry too.
Alexander Hill. Yeah,
And so they
they
make more money sometimes.
yeah. All right, man. What would you like to say to your fans and supporters?
Man, I want to first and foremost thank you for allowing me on your platform. I truly appreciate you, King. It's definitely been an honor. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. If anybody need any assistance with traveling to Africa, assistance with genealogy, they want to check out my book, or they want to check out my music, I have a website. It's campcleveland.org. campcleveland.org. I'm on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram as Camp Cleveland.
Yeah, I was saying my boy said you got a client, so he gonna be hitting you up.
Okay. Cool, cool.
You got any shout outs?
Man, shout out to everybody. Stay black.